Greetings, everyone. We could be here all day. I know that we can't be, but we could be very easily because these readings are so rich and so beautifully presented and so important for us in so many ways. The gospel is truly, as was yesterday's. Remember, yesterday was Zechariah's Annunciation story. Today is Mary's. Both stories are about choices. Choices. You and I are invited to make choices every day, aren't we, when you stop and think about it? We make choices all the time. Sometimes we make the right choice. Sometimes the choices we make aren't as right as maybe they could be. Last week, one day, I was asked to give an Advent retreat in a parish way up north, almost to the New Hampshire border. So I knew it would take me a while to get there. So I jumped in my car, my alb over my arm, and I started to drive up north. I forget what highway I was on. It was a major highway at any rate. And because it was around rush hour, I'm always traveling to parishes during rush hour, traffic was wild. It was wild. And I was in the center lane. And I noticed that I wasn't moving. This lane of traffic was moving, and that lane of traffic was moving. I was not moving. And so I put on my directional, and I moved into the passing lane. As soon as I got into the passing lane, it stopped. Dead. Didn't go anywhere. The lane I was in is now moving, and the one beside it is now moving. I said, I can't make a right choice here. I put on my directional again. I moved and got into the first lane. No word of a lie, I couldn't make this up. When I got into that first lane, it stopped. I said, no matter what I choose, it isn't right. I can't get a break. Choices. Some right, some wrong. All of them moments in which you and I need to turn to our God in order to hopefully make the right choice. The two examples that we've been given these past 2 days are so important. Yesterday, we looked at Zechariah, a good and holy man who didn't believe in the possibility of God's movement in his life. Poor Zechariah asked for a sign. That was a wrong choice to challenge God. It was an incorrect choice to not believe the message of an angel. How will this occur? I need a sign. I'm an old man. My wife is advanced in years. He was invited through silence to stop, reflect, and pray. And oddly enough, at the end of that story, he names his son John as the angel had asked. John, which means God is gracious. Finally, after the silence, after the prayer, after the reflection, Zechariah is able to believe in the graciousness, the promise of his God. Today, Mary is placed before us, a young woman at prayer, a young woman filled with grace. Hail, Mary, you are filled with grace. God is with you. And my friends, what Mary offers to us this day is a sign of what can happen when we use the grace that she was conceived in, showered upon us at the moment of our baptism, traveling with us through life, always there for us to use. When we use God's grace, we are able to say yes to his presence. And my friends, when you and I say yes to his presence, there is little that we can't do. The angel very clearly says that with God, nothing will be impossible. If you and I allow our faith to help us believe that God is with us, there is nothing that we can't get through. There is no challenge in life that we won't be able to meet with him ever by our side. Through the miracle of the Word of God, you and I are reminded of the importance of using God's grace, using his presence, believing in the promise that with him, even for us, nothing is impossible.